Distilled white vinegar. Distilled white vinegar is the most neutral vinegar you can buy. It's made from distilled alcohol that's been fermented into acetic acid, then diluted back down. The key point is neutrality. No fruit, no wood, no complexity, just acid. In American kitchens, it's the backbone of pickling and canning, and most bottles are standardized to 5% acidity. You'll often see labels like 5% acidity or even 50 grains, which is an old school way of measuring vinegar strength that still shows up on US packaging. That number actually matters. Food safety guidelines in the US specifically stress using vinegar with at least 5% acidity for pickling. Anything weaker, and you risk unstable preservation. Adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar to simmering poaching water helps eggs hold their shape and cook the whites faster. Flavor-wise, it's sharp and direct. No sweetness, no depth, just clean acidity. That's why it shows up in things like classic deli pickles, coleslaw, and even some barbecue sauces. You can also use it outside the kitchen to clean your coffee maker, kill weeds, or strip laundry buildup. Apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar starts with crushed apples and goes through 2 fermentations, first into alcohol, then into acetic acid. That's why it still tastes faintly like apples. It comes in 2 versions, unfiltered and filtered. The unfiltered version contains the mother, a cloudy strand of bacteria and enzymes you can actually see floating in the bottle. In the filtered version, you don't. The unfiltered version is the version most people associate with health benefits like lowering cholesterol or regulating blood sugars. A tablespoon diluted in water is a morning ritual for millions of Americans, but drinking it straight is actually discouraged. Undiluted vinegar can damage tooth enamel and irritate your throat. The best way to incorporate apple cider vinegar into your diet is to use it in cooking. It's a simple addition to foods like salad dressings, coleslaw, or anywhere you want acidity with sweetness behind it. It is also the first choice of vinegar in Eastern North Carolina barbecue sauce, where the point is not a thick sauce sitting on pork, but a thin, sharp seasoning that soaks into it. Also, pour a little in a cup with a few drops of dish soap, cover it with plastic wrap, poke a few holes, and it becomes a fruit fly trap. Red wine vinegar. Red wine vinegar is made by letting red wine ferment further until it turns sour. It keeps some of the depth and dryness from the wine, which gives it a stronger, more robust flavor than most vinegars. In the US, this is the default real cooking vinegar. When recipes say vinaigrette, this is often what people reach for. It's strong, but not harsh. It has flavor, not just acidity. That's why it works so well with olive oil, garlic, and herbs. It can hold its own without disappearing. It's the backbone of Italian dressing and Greek salad dressing, and if you've eaten at a Greek diner, you've had red wine vinegar many times without thinking about it. It also works well in marinades for red meat and anywhere you want a vinegar that adds flavor, not just acidity. Pro tip: if you're soaking thin sliced red onions in red wine vinegar for 15 minutes, they'll turn a vibrant neon pink and lose that raw onion breath bite. A trick used by nearly every high-end burger joint in the States. White wine vinegar. White wine vinegar follows the exact same process, but with white wine instead of red. That changes everything visually and slightly in flavor. It's lighter, cleaner, and less aggressive. The acidity is still there, but the edges are softer. It's the vinegar in classic French cooking. A white wine vinegar reduction is the base of a proper hollandaise. Beurre blanc, that silky buttery sauce you get at nicer restaurants, is built on it. Swap this for lemon juice to provide that same bright hit without the citrusy aftertaste. It is also used when you want brightness without changing the look of the dish. White wine vinegar keeps everything neutral and bright. It shows up in lighter vinaigrettes, seafood dishes, and quick pickles where appearance matters just as much as taste. Balsamic vinegar. It's made from cooked grape must. Whole crushed grapes, skins, seeds, stems, and juice, all cooked down and then aged in wooden barrels. But here's where it gets complicated, and where most people are getting misled at the grocery store. There are actually 2 protected labels, and they're not the same thing. IGP, which stands for Indicazione Geografica Protetta, or Protected Geographical Indication, means the balsamic must be processed in Modena, but the grape must and wine vinegar inside can come from anywhere in the world. These are the bottles you see under $20. Sweet, tangy, perfectly fine for dressings and glazes, but the ingredients inside could be from anywhere. DOP, protected, designation of origin, is the real thing. It must come entirely from Modena or Reggio Emilia, made exclusively from cooked grape must, specifically from Trebbiano grapes grown in one of those 2 regions. And it must be aged in wooden barrels for a minimum of 12 years. That's the product that costs $100 or more for a small bottle. but most bottles at your grocery store have neither label. It's wine vinegar, grape juice concentrate, caramel coloring, and thickeners, a factory product designed to look and taste like something it isn't. The IGP bottle and the cheap one goes into salad dressings, marinades, and glazes. Reduce it in a pan until it thickens, and you have a balsamic glaze that works on roasted vegetables, grilled chicken, strawberries, even vanilla ice cream. It's one of the most versatile finishing sauces in the kitchen, and it takes about 5 minutes to make. The DOP bottle, if you ever splurge on one, you don't heat it, you don't mix it, you drop it. A few drops on fresh strawberries, on a slice of burrata, on prosciutto. Anywhere, the point is to taste the vinegar itself. Rice vinegar. Rice vinegar is made from fermented rice or rice wine. The result is the mildest, most delicate vinegar on this list. Even people who think they don't like vinegar usually tolerate rice vinegar because it blends into dishes instead of dominating them. It's foundational across Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese cooking. Stir-fry sauces, noodle dressings, dumpling dips, cold salads. Rice vinegar adds brightness without disrupting anything around it. And here's the fact worth knowing. The word sushi doesn't refer to fish. Su in Japanese means vinegar. Sushi means vinegar rice. The fish is the secondary ingredient. The entire cuisine is named after this vinegar. It comes in 2 versions, unseasoned and seasoned. Unseasoned is the one you cook with. Stir fries, marinades, dressings, pickling. Seasoned rice vinegar already has sugar and salt dissolved in, and it exists for one specific purpose, sushi rice. If you've tried to make sushi rice at home and it tasted flat, you grabbed the wrong bottle. The rule is simple. If the label says seasoned or sushi vinegar, the work is already done. If it just says rice vinegar, you need to add your own sugar and salt before mixing it into the rice. Malt vinegar. Malt vinegar is made from malted barley, the key component in the fermentation process for beer or whiskey. That's why it has that nutty caramel toasty flavor. In the US, it's strongly associated with boardwalk food, especially fries and fish. On the East Coast, particularly places like the Jersey Shore, people don't just dip fries in ketchup. They soak them in malt vinegar. In the UK and Canada, it's on every table at a fish and chip shop. One important detail, because it's made from barley, malt vinegar can contain gluten. Some versions may be processed to reduce it, but it's not reliably gluten-free, which is something people with gluten intolerance need to watch for. Champagne vinegar. Champagne vinegar is not made from actual champagne. It's made from Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes, the same varieties used in champagne production, but the wine gets converted to vinegar before it ever becomes sparkling. Most people expect it to taste like champagne, but it doesn't. It is incredibly light. If you use a heavy balsamic on a delicate butter lettuce salad, the salad is ruined. Champagne vinegar is what you use when you want the acidity to whisper rather than scream. In terms of flavor profile, it's actually closer to rice vinegar than to regular wine vinegar. Sherry vinegar. Sherry vinegar comes from the Jerez region of Andalusia in southern Spain and carries a protected designation of origin, the same legal protection as Champagne and Parmigiano Reggiano. It's made from sherry wine aged in American oak barrels for a minimum of 6 months, often much longer. The story behind it is that sherry vinegar was discovered by accident. Barrels of sherry wine that over-fermented and turned too acidic for drinking. It was first discarded or given to workers, but in the 1940s, producers began to treat this mistake as a valuable product, aging it in the traditional Solera system, the same method used for sherry wine. Today, it is highly prized and regulated by a protected designation of origin, PDO, often aged up to 30 years to create complex nutty flavors. Chinese black vinegar is typically made from fermented glutinous rice, often combined with other grains depending on the producer, and aged until it develops a deep dark color. The flavor is rich, slightly smoky, and almost malty with a subtle sweetness. The most well-known version is Zhenjiang vinegar, also called Qingqiang vinegar, named after the city where it's traditionally produced. One of the most recognizable brands in the US is Gold Plum, which is widely available in Asian grocery stores. If you've ever sat down for dumplings or dim sum and wondered what that dark, sweet, sour dipping sauce was, there's a good chance it included black vinegar. You can use it for almost anything. A delicious dipping sauce for your dumplings, tossed over some hot, thick noodles, or even as a component in your next salad dressing.